It's exactly a week's countdown before the month of March comes to an end. Many thanks for joining us for yet another edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. As per usual, if it's your first time joining us, please subscribe, press the like button, and be sure to click on the bell icon to stay abreast with the latest local and global news. We begin in the United Arab Emirates, where President Dr. Hage Geingob has assured potential investors that the repatriation of profits, loans and investments is legal in Namibia. Let's get more context from our first report compiled by Sawi Al-Siku.
Geingob told potential investors during the Namibia Investment Summit held at the Grand Hyatt Hotel in Dubai on Wednesday that their profits, loans and even their entire investment are guaranteed. The head of state said he was informed by the management team of the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board that potential investors were questioning whether their investments, including capital and machinery, would be safe if they decided to invest in a new market such as Namibia. They also wanted to know if they would be allowed to repatriate profits to their home countries.
We're not going to discriminate with a foreign investor or Namibian investor. Treat all of them equal. Secondly, we also believe in democracy, whatever it means. Democracy in the sense that our people must participate in the governance architecture.
He also said businesses can be conducted in a clean manner without using middlemen. Geingob is accompanied by First Lady Monica Gengos and cabinet ministers such as the Minister of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform, Kale Schlettwein, Deputy Minister of Mines and Energy, Cornelia Shilunga, Minister of Industrialization and Trade, Lucia Ipumbu, as well as the Minister of Finance, Ipumbu Shimi. Silima Shimwefeleni Masipa reporting for Nampa News.
Back home, as Namibia continues to receive good rainfall, inhabitants and travelers to the north, central and western parts of the country are cautioned to be on high alert for persistent rainfall as well as possible flooding. Mulisa Simiasa compiled the story.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Land Reform through its Hydrological Services Department on Tuesday announced in a media statement that its satellite images as captured on the 22nd of March to 30th March 2022 indicates good rainfall and increases in flows at Zambezi, Kavango, Orange and Kunene rivers. The statement reads, flood alerts and readiness is advised for the inhabitants close to the floodplains. Water flows were also observed in the Ku Valley in the northern Namibia due to local rainfalls, which they received a week ago. It further said good rainfall continues to be recorded in Angola since Tuesday last week, therefore communities should be on high alert for possible flooding until the end of this month.
On to news from the Korean Peninsula. South Korea's President Moon Jae-in earlier today revealed that North Korea fired an intercontinental ballistic missile, the first time Pyongyang has launched such a powerful weapon since 2017. AFP gives us more details.
The intercontinental ballistic missile launch is one of nearly a dozen weapon tests conducted by North Korea so far this year and marks the end of a self-imposed moratorium on long-range and nuclear testing. It was a breach of the suspension of the intercontinental ballistic missile launches promised by Chairman Kim Jong-un to the international community, Moon said in a statement. He said it poses a serious threat to the Korean Peninsula, the region and the international community, adding it was a clear violation of the UN Security Council resolutions. Pyongyang had officially paused long-range testing while leader Kim Jong-un embarked on a high-profile negotiations with then US President Donald Trump, but talks collapsed in 2019 and have been stalled ever since. Despite biting international sanctions, North Korea has doubled down on Kim's drive to modernize the military, and last week test-fired what analysts said was likely a monster missile, a new long-range intercontinental ballistic missile. It exploded soon after launch. The US and South Korea had warned earlier this month that Pyongyang was preparing to launch an intercontinental ballistic missile at full range.
Shifting attention to Europe. European countries have been thrown into disarray after Russian President Vladimir Putin noted that unfriendly countries who buy Russia's gas will now have to pay in rubles. Xinhua shares more perspective.
Putin said on Wednesday at a televised meeting with top government ministers that Russia will continue, of course, to supply natural gas in accordance with volumes and prices. The change will only affect the currency of payment, which will be changed to the Russian rubles. European countries buy some 40% of their total gas consumption from Russia. Since the European Union announced sanctions on Russia in response to its special military operation against Ukraine in February, gas trade between the two sides have been thrown into the spotlight, with the daily trade volume fluctuating. The European Union has not commented on the new Russian move, but Germany's Federal Minister of Economic Affairs and Climate Action, Robert Habeck, said on Wednesday that he would discuss with European partners a possible answer to Moscow's announcement. Dutch Prime Minister Mark Rutte said on Wednesday that more time was needed to clarify Russia's demand. Questions have also been raised on whether the Russian move will breach trade rules. Countries who have imposed sanctions on Russia appear on the list of unfriendly countries, which include the United States, the EU member states, Britain, China, Canada, Norway, and Singapore.
Your Talk Roundup is up next. In tonight's primetime buzz, we begin locally. Minister of Industrialization and Trade Lucia Ipumbu noted that Namibia's fallback position has been the outdated 1993 Foreign Direct Investment Act, which is partial in nature in that it does not embrace newer dictates such as innovation and sustainable investment. She echoed the sentiments during the Namibia Investment Summit held on the peripherals of Expo 2020 Dubai on Wednesday. Sawi Hausiku compiled this report.
The Liberal Foreign Investment Act, which was crafted already in 1993, provides for freedom from nationalization, freedom to limit capital and profits, and also currency convertibility, and a process for settling dispute equitably. Today, Namibia is at the tail end of enacting a new investment act, which is currently undergoing final consultative engagements. These engagements will then culminate into a new law that will ensure that Namibia is not duly left behind and have a policy gap when it comes to investment environment, and we are trying to avoid investors' uncertainty. The new investment policy regime, namely the Namibia Investment Promotion and Facilitation Act, will therefore enhance a conducive business environment in Namibia to fully leverage on new investment strategies pertaining to renewable energies, and also to resuscitate a post-COVID-19 economy within an updated, viable institutional framework to support the policy ambitions through the policy desk of the Ministry and the Namibia Investment Promotion and Development Board, while fostering the required investor-friendly infrastructure through the Integrated Client Services Facility, or rather what we call the one-stop shop.
Agribank has, for the financial year ending February 2022, distributed 10.8 million Namibian dollars to qualifying clients under its Women and Youth Loan Scheme. Shelva Wills compiled this report.
The Women and Youth Scheme was established to serve women over the age of 18, as well as youth, men and women between the ages of 18 and 35, and agricultural professionals and graduates over the age of 18. Agribank, in a media statement on Wednesday, said over 50% of the total amount disbursed went to land purchases by beginners, while the remaining share financed the purchase of large and small stock, poultry, and the construction of dwellings and other permanent farm buildings. The Women and Youth Scheme aims to increase the participation of women and youth in farming activities, as the scheme includes distinct features that serves as incentives. The statement said this includes interest rates fixed at 7% across all loan products under the scheme, a 1-year grace period, and financing of unsecured loans to individuals or entities who do not have collateral. Joy Gosses, Nampa News.
With the business and economics news, we've come to the end of the top news for this evening. Stay tuned for the economics roundup, followed by the weather forecast.
A very good evening and a warm welcome to this Thursday night's edition of Sport Planet. I'm Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa. The gentlemen's sport kickstarts the segment. Ireland Wolves beat Namibia A by 32 runs in the second game of the Castlelight 2020 T20 series at Wanderers Cricket Club in Windhoek on Wednesday. Marco Ndlovu, our sports journalist, was at the match and compiled this report.
Today was really, we played a lot better. I think we started well again with the ball, and then I think we ended well as well, and throughout the middle we kept it tight. And with the bat, obviously myself and Nicole just stuck together, and we just said to each other, let's take it to the end.
On to international football. Germany midfielder Ilkay Gundogan could continue his international career after the World Cup in Qatar with the target of playing home at Euro 2024. If the head and body allow, these Euros could be a topic, the Manchester City player told Kicker magazine earlier today. He added that he would decide after the World Cup. The 31-year-old Gundogan has played 54 games for his country prior to the coming friendly matches with Israel on Saturday and away to the Netherlands 3 days later. Germany lost to England in the last 16 of Euro 2020, but Gundogan has a lot of confidence in the squad going into the World Cup year. Stand by for your sports roundup. With that, we've come to the end of tonight's edition of Primetime News. Many thanks for tuning in. Another reminder that if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, like, share, and click on the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Feel free as well to add your comments in the comment section. Do catch us tomorrow for this week's last edition of Primetime News. From myself, Selima Shimwefeleni Masipa, and the entire production crew, it's good night.